Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to our Dreamerspro short clips channel that we have pinned in the comments section below. All right, let's get into this topic here now. As you guys know, historically, I have not been a fan of Gilbert Arenas, right? I thought that a lot of his basketball takes seemed like he was basically trying to grift. He was trying to go against conventional wisdom by basically saying things that would annoy people. And then therefore, once he did that, he would then garner attention and therefore do similar things like what Nick Wright does, right? Basically, Nick Wright grifts and he says things that will annoy people, but that's how he makes a name for himself, by saying things that are just so obtuse and obscure and in some cases flat out outlandish, but he knows that's how he's going to get people to listen to him. But instead, what I've noticed from Gilbert over the last few months now, I would say, is that he's decided now to kind of take the other approach, which is give sound basketball takes that make sense, that people can understand, and you'll build your name that way by just simply putting out great basketball content. And I got to commend Gilbert Arenas because that's what he's been doing over the last few months, at least with some of the content from his platform that I've been tracking. So what happened? Yesterday, I was just on the internet and a video of his got recommended to me on YouTube. And this video basically was titled something to the effect of, "You can't build around LeBron James," or something like that, right? And basically the premise of the video was simply this: if you could choose between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James to build a team, who would you choose? And they had Spencer Dinwiddie. They had oh my God, I forgot the other NBA player. He used to play for the Milwaukee Bucks. I forgot his name, and please forgive me. And then of course they had Gilbert Arenas on the panel. So when the discussion ensued, you know, Spencer Dinwiddie started giving his take. The other basketball player, I can't remember his name, unfortunately, he said he would pick Kobe. But then Gilbert Arenas said he would pick Michael Jordan, right? Which surprised me because in the past, he was making a lot of wacky LeBron James arguments, a lot of wacky, weird, strange LeBron James arguments. But in this particular instance, he decided to go with Jordan. And when he started to lay out his arguments for why he would choose Michael Jordan, I thought it was one of the most masterful explanations as to why any GM should build around Michael Jordan. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Spencer Dinwiddie had to say and what Gilbert Arenas had to say, and then we're going to come back and react to his comments. So take a listen to what Gilbert Arenas had to say there.
Who would you choose number one in the all-time draft to like lead your franchise? The way you said, like with a new owner, they're going to give up, hey, you just came in the ownership group, here's number one pick. That's what you said. Who are you choosing to lead your franchise all time? For 20 years, you really?
I'm going cold. I'm going cold.
Because
really?
Nah,
I'm going cold.
You can go, but you got Jordan.
That's fine, but I'm splitting image. I'm getting 5 out of it.
Huh?
I'm getting 5.
Kobe my favorite player of all time, but like from a business perspective, the league and all that other stuff, I'm choosing Bron. I get 20 years.
Man, we got one sensible
I
human being.
get 20 years.
Okay, you got 20.
And he's a Swiss Army knife. He's going to play 1 through 5. I can go get me a Wade to kind of sort of try to deal with Jordan and Kobe. You know what I'm saying? I can go get, but like who? 1 through 5.
Well, you got 20 years. Now, if you can tell Jordan to rewind back and say, hey, there's going to be a guy that's going to put up 20 years.
Can't do that.
No, but what I'm saying is there's going to be a kid that's going to put up 20 years, right? And he's going to break the scoring record. Now go. He's not retiring ever.
Yeah.
He's not going to retire. Get him at 40, he averaged 20. Missed 2 years, came back, averaged 20. He missed a year and a half, came back, won 3 straight championships. There's not out of the something years he played 9. He played 82 games.
But that's an if though.
82 games.
That's
He
an if
played
though.
82 games in 9 seasons. 81, and then he has an 80.
No, listen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So we're talking about somebody.
But I'm not saying who I don't like more though.
During the years, we're talking about during the years where he was getting clotheslined.
Yeah.
82 games.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about durability, now you say 20 years. I get him for 20 years, knowing that, hey, this kid played for 20 years. But now he's gonna take that challenge.
But I'm saying though, that's a big if. And I'm not saying who I like more, because I like Mike and Kobe more. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm the owner, you know what I'm saying? That's how I try to look at the best player of all time debate versus like who I like. Because if I'm saying who I like, I just say Kobe. Like, I'm taking Kobe. Like, Spencer Dinwiddie is taking Kobe. But like, if I'm like, okay, I'm an owner, I just stepped into this thing, I could draft one person all time, and I know my franchise is gonna be straight for 20 years, and I'm gonna go to the finals at 16 out the 20 years, I'm making a ton of money the whole nine. I could put anybody around him. You know what I'm saying? I could put a point guard with him, or I could put a center with him, or I could put anybody else. Like, that's a tough,
I usually go LeBron because I get everything, but when you're talking about what made Jordan, he didn't have a reference to follow. He was the best player on.
But I think,
ever.
but I think he wanted to be Magic though.
What I'm saying, he was considered the best player ever by his second championship. So from there, he just around. Like, it's not like LeBron's chasing someone.
Yeah.
So he's like, I still got to keep playing. The other one already got the crown of the best ever before he had 18,000 points. 18,000 points. He was considered the best player to ever touch this game. Everything else was cream on top. So they're never going to give you the spot. But if you can tell Jordan, who is hey, listen, there's a guy that's coming. So you have to put 20 years. Now no one's touching it. Because he was playing 80 games. If you add the 3 more years, you're guaranteed 80 games out of Jordan. That's one thing that you can look at his resume and say, he played every game.
Yeah.
Like, there was no, during an era where they were the most physical.
Yeah.
So now you got an era where there's nobody physical like that. Oh my God, I mean, it's. So I gotta take what I seen here and take all the elements, right?
I'm saying it's a big
and then say, here, no physical, no defense, they can't clothesline you. Who the is stopping you? Yeah. With your attributes?
No, I'm not.
So I gotta.
Hey, I told you I like Jordan more.
20 years.
It's tough.
And his work ethic to the point where you're talking about Jimmy Butler was on. Now you got put Jimmy Butler and the Kobe's mentality with Russell Westbrook. Put them together. That's Michael Jordan's in practice.
So you heard what he had to say. First of all, let me say this. I got to commend Gilbert Arenas. He put forward some arguments that had never occurred to me. One of them being MJ was already considered the greatest player of all time by the time he scored 18,000 points. I was like, wow. I didn't even think of that. I didn't even consider that, which goes to show you that no one was really paying attention to scoring points in terms of cumulative points scored when they were deciding who was the greatest player of all time. That, in fact, that was just a longevity stat. But Gilbert Arenas made some very good points. One of the biggest points he made was the fact that Michael Jordan played so many seasons where he played 80-plus games. As a matter of fact, I believe in Jordan's 40th, I was about to say his 40th season. In Michael Jordan's 40th year, when he was 40 years old, when he was playing with the Washington Wizards, I believe, when he was 39 that year, I think at 39, he played 78 games, if I'm not mistaken. And I think at the age of 40, MJ played, and I could be wrong, I think he played 80 games or something like that, or he played all 82 games and only started 80 games. I was trying to hunt down those stats this morning, but some of these websites are not loading for whatever reason. But anyway, the point that he made, I thought, was fantastic. He was basically saying that Michael Jordan was the most durable superstar pretty much of all time. And we don't think about it in those terms. Why? Because when we think about durability, we think of people that played for a very, very long time, like the LeBrons, for example, who's been playing for a very long time and that has never suffered any catastrophic basketball injury, which makes LeBron James very, 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 very lucky, right? And fortunate, because he's never had a major injury. He never tore his Achilles. He never tore his rotator cuff like some of these other guys who suffered some pretty gruesome injuries throughout their career. LeBron never had that. So to hear Gilbert Arenas bring up that point, he made a very good one, which was, if MJ knew that, hey, okay, I'm going to need 20 out of you. Just imagine how many good years he would have given. Now, I think probably MJ would have, he would have probably played a little bit longer. But here's the other thing to pay attention to. MJ came into the league after he came from college. LeBron came into the league when he came from high school. So it's a little bit skewed. And at the age of, that season, the season prior, 39, he played 60 games. And then when he was 40 years old, he played 82 games for the Washington Wizards. So I think he makes a very, very good point. The other point that I thought he made that was excellent was that MJ wasn't chasing anybody. He's like LeBron, Kobe, all of these guys were chasing someone. MJ had no one to chase. So he had no need to play. So I think that's another good point. In terms of his basketball skills, he spoke about his just approach. He said, if you take Jimmy Butler or Kobe Bryant and you put in Russell Westbrook, he goes, that's Michael Jordan in practice. So to me, listen, I was very, very, very impressed with some of the basketball takes that Gilbert Arenas put forward. I thought he did an excellent job, and I think that's the way you win followers and grow an audience, by making great basketball content with great points, not making stupid, silly comments that would aggravate people and get people talking. That's just the wrong way, because people are not taking you seriously. They just want to hear, okay, what did this guy say again? Right? So to me, I thought Gilbert Arenas did a masterful job. So what I want to know from you guys is simply this. What do you think about some of the arguments that Gilbert Arenas laid bare? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we'll catch you guys on the next show. Peace.